Welcome to Seat Time, everybody. So Brian Pierce here, episode 117. We are a little late this evening, but hey, we were processing the awesome, if you will. That means we were trying to get all the technology set up on Cole Henslee's side of everything that's going on for them over on the East Coast. He is actually staying with the Baylors, and it looks like he's got a couple other interesting characters as well with them in the shop. So we're going to get to them in a little bit. Of course, for those of you who have not tuned in before, you're watching Seat Time, the online show for the off-road enthusiast. Beer drinking and bench racing, anything that you want to go on is going to go on this show. You guys can tune in live every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. After that, you can catch us, of course, on our website, which is Seat Time. We're on Twitter. It's seattime_CEO. If you want to find us on Facebook, it's facebook.com/seattime. We're on the Instagram. And what's even better is if you just want to get the audio feed, Stitcher or iTunes is a good way to search. You do want to search for Seat Time as 2 words, not 1. Of course, big thanks to all of our sponsors. I hope you noticed that fantastic intro is Fly Racing, huge supporters of this show. And for this evening, of course, we've got the fine guys back at Ride PG, so Power Sport Graphics, as on to be another supporter of this fine episode on this Tuesday evening, just after Valentine's Day. I don't know that we have anything special planned for Valentine's Day, but I don't think anybody in the shop over there has shirts on, though, if that makes anybody feel better. So we may get a little Valentine's Day present out of that. Of course, other house cleaning type things. Big thanks to all of our sponsors, Fly Racing and Power Sport Graphics. And if you would like to support the show, there's great ways at seattime.bigcartel.com for you to be able to pick up some Seat Time paraphernalia there. It does go straight to us and helps us pay all the bills for streaming this show to you guys. So thank you for tuning in. Okay. I think that's about it on all the house cleaning duties. Steven is looking mighty fine this evening. I just wanted to let everybody know his hair's growing out, his beard's getting longer. So for those of you that don't get to see him that often, shame on you. Shame on you. So our first guest this evening is Mr. Cole Hensley, a rider we have not had on before. Definitely been following him, though, in the Missouri and kind of Arkansas, central, north of Texas, but still centrally located races that go on up there. It's going to be good to get to chat with him. He's making some big changes for 2014 in the sense of going kind of regional to national caliber type races. So, yes, Mr. Cole Hensley, how is your evening going, kind sir?
Pretty good. I drove all the way from Missouri. I left at 3:30 this morning and showed up at Stewart's like 4:30, 5 o'clock this afternoon. And I rode for like an hour, and then we went and ate, and this is it.
And I have to ask, how well are you getting along with the untrained monkeys?
Oh, pretty well. Not bad. I mean, you can see them in the background.
Oh, yep. Yes,
bad.
We can.
Back there, hanging out.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. Love it, love it, love it. No, that's cool, man. I'm glad you guys are having fun with it. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what Seat Time is all about. So, cool. I was doing some Google and Facebook stalking, as I usually like to do before I talk to a lot of guests that I haven't had on the show before. So you've been, racing in the Missouri area and quite a few other regions around Missouri for a long, long time. When would you say you actually became a professional in the sense that started really competing in the pro ranks in the races that you compete in?
I started pro class whenever I was 15. Just like some local series, like the Hillbilly GP. It's like a winter series in Missouri. I ended up like 3rd my first year in pro class, and then went to Missouri Hare Scrambles as 15 also, and raced all summer. And I think my first year I was like 7th overall, terrible first year, and then the second year I was like 2nd overall whenever I was 16, and then I've won it 3 times since.
Nice. And when you were not first, was that still when Steve Levan was kicking all the youngsters' asses?
Yeah, whenever I was 15, I think he won it that year, and then Caleb Wallets beat me at the last round. I was like 1 point behind him for the series points whenever I ended up 2nd overall. I think that was in 2010, and then I've won it 11, 12, and 13.
Nice. So it's right to say that you're a badass. on a dirt bike. We have to get it out. I think you're a two-stroke rider, if I remember correctly, but are you a two-stroke or a four-stroker?
I've had all two strokes, but this year I've had a 450 for 7 months.
Okay.
And
why the switch?
I don't know. I just wanted one. I rode one, and I was like, this could be fun. And, it's kind of easy to ride. And went and bought one and loved it. I raced it like the second day I owned it and won a what is it, OHSCS, an Oklahoma race.
Right.
And I just like the motor. It's easy to ride, just kind of lug it around. But I just got a new 250XC yesterday that I'm going to race this year in the XC2 class in GNCC and expert class in National Enduro.
Yeah, so that's what's neat to say. One of the things when I was doing all of my stalking was I found your funding page. And unfortunately, I did not know about this before. I definitely would have shared it earlier had I known about this funding that you have going on. So before we kind of get into what you're kind of doing on the East Coast already, tell me a little bit more about why you went this route to try to get money to help support, your 2014.
Well, I worked for O'Reilly's back home, and I worked 40 hours a week, and that's how I paid for. I paid for everything. Like that 450 I bought, I have a bike payment, $200 a month, and I got to pay for all my gas, all my bike stuff, and having to afford that and then not work at the same time is really hard to do. It's impossible to do. So I kind of there were some people back in 2012 that helped me out during the National Enduro Series I chased in 2012, and they kind of helped me out this year with some money because I had a good opportunity to come out here and live with the Baylors and ride the GNCCs and National Enduros again. So I just kind of basically asked for money. Like, here's my chance. This is what I want to do. I want to go chase my dream, and hopefully you guys can help me out. So.
Yeah, and that's a big deal. It's like I said. Unfortunately, I did know about it. I would have shared that much earlier. There's been a lot of talk about funding and crowdsourcing and things like that. Obviously, people are kind of, how do I get a Kickstarter project for X and do this kinds of things? But I have to ask, how successful have you found this kind of crowdfunding? How successful has it been for you?
It's been pretty good. Like, I started it, I want to say 2 weeks ago, and a kid actually messaged me on Facebook because I put what I wanted to do out on Facebook and Twitter and like some local forums, race site forums. And this kid messaged me who I was Facebook friends with. I didn't know who he was, and told me about this GoFundMe website. And I ended up raising like $1,000 in maybe 3 days.
Right, that's
Not
awesome.
bad. And then I've had some other previous sponsors that have helped me out before. So I got to where I don't think I'm gonna have to work down here, so I can basically just kind of ride every day or do what we're gonna do every day, train or whatever we're supposed to do.
Okay. So $1,000 in 3 days, and I'm pretty sure there's been a little bit more since then. But what needs to happen to make it consistent where you don't have to work? Now, I know you've probably run some kind of numbers on what you need to survive and what you need to be able to train and not have to work. So now that you've kind of got this starter money, which obviously is going to be a huge help, what else do you need besides, say, podiums and a little bit of winning cash? Will this funding continue through the years or this year, or is it going to end soon? How's that going to look?
No, it's going to be, the GoFundMe, it's open. So if anybody wants to donate, they can donate whenever they want. I'll definitely be taking that. I'm honestly going for broke. Like, I'm going to go until I've got $400, and $400 will give me from South Carolina to Missouri on gas. So I'm just going to do it as long as I can.
Yep. And then being in the XC2 class in the GNCCs, I'm kind of trying to think about the payouts. Now, I don't think it's great. It's probably a couple $100 here or there if you're on the podium. I don't know if they have beyond the podium payouts for the XC2 class. But putting yourself out there, what are your assumptions for going into the race at Florida?
I'm just it's going to be a big learning curve. Like, I've done one GNCC, and I did it in Indiana, and my hand was hurt at the same time, so I didn't even finish. And the thing was rough, so it's definitely going to be a big learning curve. I've done National Enduros before, but I'm going to ride the expert class. I don't even think there's a payout in that. That's just just going to try to do good in that and do some good overall results. But the GNCC, you know, I'm just hoping for at least a top 40 overall.
Right.
Like there's a lot of XC1 guys and a lot of XC2 guys, and there's going to be some hot shot A riders. So I'm just going to go for a top 40 overall and see how good I can do, you know, in the class. But I mean, this year is just a big learning curve for me, and it's just a good opportunity to come out here and try to do something of it and get some connections or whatever.
Yeah, no, I think it's awesome. One, that the Baylors would give you this chance to come hang out with them. I mean, they're cool guys to hang out with regardless. I mean, Big Stu is obviously the coolest of the bunch, but, you know, you put up with the kids as you have to, of course. I wanted you to know – yeah, shut up, Stu. I wanted you to know, though, it looks like they just updated. So they have, like, an expert AA class this year. So
right.
It's kind of like 2 years ago when I was quote-unquote fast and I was AA Texas, but there's no way I would have competed AA nationally at a national. Well, they never had a class for that. Well, now they do. They have like a regional AA class, and it actually does have some form of payout. I know they just updated it, so if I brought up my email and decided to stop running the show, I could tell you those numbers. But in reality, I could probably just ask Zach to put the numbers in the chat room, and he'll be able to do that for us. So, I kind of, you know, is that the class you're going to be in this kind of this expert AA class?
Yeah, that's the plan. I actually, my dad signed me up for the first round in A Open because that's what I ran in 2012. But no, I tried calling Alan Rant today and didn't get an answer. I left a message that I do need to switch class.
All right. Well, maybe we could get Twitter to blow up. Let's get so Zach and Jared and all them in the chat room, get on Twitter and hit Alan Rant up and tell him that we need to switch Cole Hensley over because he's trying to be a sandbagger, and nobody on Seat Time likes sandbaggers. Nobody.
Thank you. You can get my charger in my backpack up in the seat room. Sorry.
Oh
Thank
my
you.
gosh. Yep. So, well, that's fun. Well, from what you've done with the GNCCs in the past and what we know of with all the Arkansas, Missouri, and Oklahoma stuff that's kind of close to us here in Texas, tell us how it relates. What are some of the biggest challenges going in for you into Florida that you just know right off the bat this is going to suck?
Well, Missouri's all rock and really tight wooded areas, so I'm used to riding kind of slow, more technical stuff. I came out to Stewards the 1st of January till the 15th, and we rode a lot of sand, and I pretty well sucked in it, but I got the hang of it. Suspension's a big key. It's going to be rough. I know I'm going to have to learn. We're going to ride a lot in the sand around here, so I'm going to have to learn how to handle the sand loops for 3 hours, I guess.
Yes. And but they changed venues this year. So the Florida, even though it's still in Florida, the Florida venue this year is different for the first GNCC. And Jared Bolton was telling us, he's like, don't worry, there's still going to be sand. But he said it's not going to be the same type of terrain as what a lot of the GNCC races are so used to come beginning of the year. So I don't really know how that pans out. It's in reality. But I guess Bolton is going to drop in a little bit later after we talk with you. So maybe he'll give us some hints a little bit more about the property. I don't know. Have you heard anything about how it's supposed to be?
No, Stewart said that it's going to be really rough. So, and his really rough, that's going to be pretty rough because the stuff he thinks is, or I think's rough around here, he's like, oh, this stuff's easy. So, I'm not really used to a whooped out motocross track. You know, I'm used to rocks and stuff, and it's going to be fun. I'm excited.
Yes. Well,
I'm excited to get my butt kicked.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a challenge. I can definitely assure you that. So, of the XC2 riders this year, who do you see as some of the bigger challengers for the XC2 title?
Well, I mean, there's a Grant for sure. I mean, he won it last year, and I actually rode with him this afternoon, and he freaking rolls. But I mean, all those guys. I don't know if Jason Thomas is going to ride in it this year. If Zach Osborne shows up, I mean, there's a handful of dudes that could win it. It's just who can put it together. I just plan on learning a whole bunch from him and trying to, hang with him for a little while and get used to things. But I'd say Grant's going to do pretty good.
Yeah, and Jason Thomas will be in the XC1 class on a 450.
He's in the XC1, okay.
So yeah, he what was it, about 3-4 weeks ago? Is probably about a month ago is when he officially announced it through like Twitter and took a picture of a 450 and was like, well, it looks like I got support. So as official as you can get.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting. And so Grant will be in the XC2 class again?
Yep.
So that's your target right there.
There we go.
You just have to try to keep his dust in sight while you guys are out there training.
Yeah, I'm just gonna ride with him every day, I guess.
You gotta wake up next. What you gotta do is you gotta snuggle with him at night. I mean, you're not gonna learn a man any more than you would unless you snuggle with him at night. When you just get all comfy and just keep him warm, you know. And then you wake up next to him and you get to see how he wakes up, how he brushes his teeth, how he eats, how he drinks. I'm pretty sure all of that would make you faster.
Yeah, I think so. And I'm actually I don't want to sleep on the floor tonight, so I'm gonna have to cut up with somebody.
So we might as well start with Grant, right?
That's right. He's a big bear.
Oh, dude, it's crazy that you say that because those sons of bitches are huge. Like, it's like you kind of you see pictures and stuff of those guys, and you're like, and I know that Stu and Grant have both kind of gotten crap for the fact that people say, oh, they don't work out, they're fat, they're tubby. They're not. They are just massively big guys.
They're just big boned.
Yeah. Oh well, you know that's a lie, but whatever. It's funny how like Big Stu, from afar walking up, you're kind of like thinking the same thing, like, oh, he's kind of a big guy, he might be a little fat. And then you like get close, he just wears a baggy shirt, and then if you shake his hand, you get to see his forearm and his biceps like totally freak out, huge. It's just nuts how freaking big Big Stu is and how muscular. What are you doing? Are you in a centrifuge?
No, I had to charge my phone. My 10% just came on, so I had to have Caleb go outside and get my phone charger. I had to flip my phone over so it'd reach.
Wow, 44% to 10%. See, that's what seed time does. It drains your battery if you're not prepared, buddy.
That's right. I'm prepared now. Talk all night.
Well, tell us some more stuff about you, dude. That's one of the things that we love to do here when we have riders on for the first time. You know, some of those things about how you got into the sport, why you're still doing it, you know, all that kinds of fun stuff.
Well, I started whenever I was, close to 3. My dad started me on a PW50 in the backyard. I mean, we live in a subdivision, so I was, ripping around on training wheels in the backyard. I actually remember running up the wood pile. It scared the crap out of me when I was like 2 years old. And then I figured out how to ride without training wheels down the street. Like, I never really rode anywhere. And then got a KTM 50, and my dad took me to this riding park, Chadwick. I mean, it's just a big rock pile. I kind of hate the place now, but just started riding there, riding around. My dad would go ride out, out on the trails, and I'd just stay around the truck and ride around. And I'd take some like neighborhood friends with me, and we just basically messed around all day. And then I got a 65 and couldn't figure out the clutch, and hated riding the woods because I couldn't figure out the clutch. So I started riding motocross and was terrible at that. Never won a trophy a whole summer I raced. I was like 7 years old. Sucked. Terrible. And I got onto big bikes, on a 125, and like I started riding with just faster people, and I just started getting faster. Like I was on a 125 in the C class, and then the B class, and I got 200, and started winning the A class, and then that was whenever I was 13, then 14 and 15 I was on 250s in the pro class. And just, riding with faster people, that's kind of how you get faster. So that's what I did, and nothing else to do in Missouri, so that's why we're coming out here.
Yeah, it's either riding dirt bikes or doing meth. So.
Around my house, yeah. It's like the meth capital of the world, so.
And it's interesting. That's kind of like is that a farmers community thing? I know you said you grew up in a suburb. But we were talking, if you watch the behind the scenes, the one bit they had about Will Hahn, he originally grew up at a very young age in Missouri and on a farm, and they were like, well, we don't want to keep him off of meth, so let's buy him dirt bikes so they can do that around the house. And it kept, but is that actually like a big deal up in Missouri?
Yeah, there's meth labs all over the place. Like there was I want to say maybe a mile from my house, there was a nice little building with like a business in it, and it burnt down. It was a meth lab. Like they're everywhere. And like my uncle's a sheriff here in town, and he's busted crazy meth labs. It's huge, and especially Chadwick, like the riding area where I grew up riding. Like Chadwick is the meth capital. Like there's people out there that are just like, holy cow, just unreal. But yeah, like drugs are definitely big around like where I'm from, and you can definitely get caught up in some bad stuff if you're around it. So yeah, I've just always rode dirt bikes, and like I've always wanted to be good. Like, I always looked up to Jeremy McGrath whenever I was young because he was the king of Supercross, you know. So I was like, he's a stud. He's cool. Like, I want to do that. And I've always sucked at motocross, so I rode woods, and I started getting good at woods, and it's just where it's taken me.
So it's some of the. Unfortunately, I kind of want to ask a weird question about the meth still. Like you see, like a lot of the TV shows and crap, like Breaking Bad, and then of course, what did they had? They had the Moonshiners. So those are, you know, and Moonshiners is totally scripted. You could tell, but I mean that shit happens. Like I would imagine that Stu probably has a best friend who does moonshine. You know, and not that I know, but I would just imagine those guys are crazy.
I mean, South Carolina.
Yes.
We're in the South. We're in the South.
So would you like wind up running across that in the woods, like you said at that riding area you were at?
Like a meth lab? I mean, I don't think. Usually it's in like houses or like trailers or, you know, just random things like that. I mean, people know better, you know, around the riding area not to do that because, I mean, it's a national forest. It's Mark Twain National Forest, so there's.
Is that seriously what I just heard? Meth lab?
Yeah, we're talking about meth.
Why?
Yeah.
Because it's 417. That's what they call it. We're talking about meth.
No,
Like,
anyway, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I guess you could stumble like across it, but I don't know. I think people just kind of do it in their houses or in their garages around Springfield or where I'm from.
So people in Missouri have graduated from pot to meth as the household garage smoking drug.
Yes.
That's
scary
and interesting.
Like I said, I work at O'Reilly's and like I deal with some customers that are just like, wow, like you're unbelievable. Like they'll come in. I don't know if you ever heard of like heat gas treatment, but like I've seen women come in and buy cases of it. It's like $1.99 for a can of it. And they buy case after case and they're seriously ate up, like grinding their teeth. You know, they don't have teeth or there's scabs all over their arms. They're just nasty, strung out, and they're buying like probably shouldn't sell it to them, but I mean, whatever.
Yeah, at that point, you just gotta make money, Sonny.
Yeah, we got some real champs in Missouri, so.
Well, we got you, buddy. So, if I remember correctly, looking at some other pictures, don't you have like a massive chest piece?
Oh yeah, I've got quite a bit of tattoos. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to showcase any of those for the show?
Oh, I don't care. I've got this. It's a king and two queens, and then I've got my Indian chief with a skull and roses, and then I've got this one's pretty cool. This is like it's a motorcycle helmet with a sword through it with a wing and a broken wing. Then I've got We All Ride across my chest, and I had We All Ride before the company started.
I was at to ask, yeah,
was it
if you got it because of the T-shirt company or the clothing company or not? But say you're first.
It was way before they even started.
You're like, man, I was 15 and I had that tattoo. You shut up.
Yeah, I had it, and the clothing company came out, and what was really weird is I had a buddy who tried to he actually took pictures of my chest and like sent it in as a resume to see if I could get a sponsorship, and they blew me off. I was trying to get some free clothes out of the deal, and it didn't happen.
Yeah, so. You're like, hey guys, I might sue you because I had it first, and mine's not clothing. It's like it is the clothing, man. It is the clothing.
And then I've got my last name and graffiti across my back. I like tattoos; they're pretty fun.
No, yeah,
I was actually. The other day, we had an enduro cross race in Springfield. It would have been last Friday, and I made an appointment like 2 months ago to get a Kurt Caselli tattoo below, like right in here.
Yep.
And I freaking forgot about enduro cross, and I had to cancel it. So I'm kind of bummed out on that. I was gonna get the #1 plate with the wings coming off of it. It said, you know, ride in peace or rest in peace or something.
Yep. Yeah, that's so cool. I've been. You know, when everything kind of went down, and a lot of guys, I saw like Eric Kudla and his buddies and stuff were getting some of the tattoos coming back from Baja. You know, after, I mean, not even a full week, not even a full 3 days after everything had went down. I was like, heck yeah, I want to get a tattoo. And I've just unfortunately had a lot of stuff come up, but I realized I didn't want it to be, I've never had a tattoo that I just went and got. Like I've thought about them and really committed to it.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to do the same thing, and I've still kind of given it some thought. So it'll be cool when I get one. I just kind of give it some more thought. So you actually brought up a really good point. We had questions from the chat room about the Endurocross race that you did do in Missouri. So tell us a little bit about that event and how you did there.
They're pretty cool. It was like a motocross format. Friday night, I rode my 450XC in it, and I had a killer hole shot. I actually hole shot at every moto. And I got past. Matt Crouch was there. He's a Texan.
Yeah, that guy sucks. Actually, we love Matt Crouch. He's a cool guy.
He's a cool guy. And let's see, Tucker Smith, Caleb Haynes. There was Steve Levan. There was, I think, 12 pros the first night. And I the first moto I got third. Could not hang on to my bike at all. Like, arm pump so bad. Got third the first moto, and then the second moto I won, so I went 3-1 for second overall. Tucker Smith went 1-2. He was second overall. I think Steve was third overall. Matt, he was revving his bike out, I think, at the beginning of the second moto, and the stator wire, something happened with the stator wire, and it just shut out. We thought it was a reed, and he couldn't race. I think he ended up racing like a 254 stroke or something, but hated it, I guess. He kind of pulled off or whatever. And anyway, I got second overall the first night. And then the second night, I won the first heat and I won the second heat. So I went 1-1 for first overall and got both hole shots. It was sick. Nice. Made $800. So pretty good payout.
Yeah, that is a pretty good payout for kind of a local Endurocross event.
Yeah, it's $500 a night to win, and like back in 2012 or 2011, it'd been 2012 because I won the main both nights, and I won a dash for cash. So I made like $1,200 in 2 nights.
Wow, yeah, that's pretty good.
They pay pretty good at those.
So are you going to be competing against Mr. Cody Webb anytime soon?
Oh, I did a nitro. Okay, last year at the Endurocross, Kenny Bartram came and he rode. I guess the promoter talked him into coming somehow. I don't know how, but he did. And he talked to me and asked me if I wanted to go to this Nitro Circus thing in Vegas and do an Endurocross. I was like, heck yeah, it'd be really cool, but I don't know if I can come up with the money to get out there. And he's like, well, I'll take your bike. So he took my bike out there, and I hole shotted the first moto. And Brown passed me, and shoot, I was top 5 for like, it was like a 20-minute moto. I was top 5 for like 5 or 6 laps. So I got all tired, and I mean, Redmond was there, Cody Webb, Colton Haker, Brown, Gary Sutherland, Max Gertzen, Sandoval. There was like 10 of them that were studs in the Endurocross.
The whole crew.
And I ended up 10th overall out of like 30 pros. It was pretty good, and it was kind of like a mini works race. It was kind of way out of my element, but I thought I did pretty good. I wanted to do it this year, but I'm out here now, and it's going on. I think the 20-something. I don't know what the weekend, like 23rd or something.
Well, the Atlanta Endurocross round is going to be coming up later this year. Do you think you'll be in a position to be able to attend that one and try to beat him again then?
I have no idea. It'd be really cool if there's not a GNCC or something going on. That'd be kind of cool to go to. I have not looked at the schedule.
Endurocross.com. Welcome to the internet. Atlanta, Georgia is August 23rd. So
they're coming all the way out here.
Yeah, this is the first time they're going back east in quite a long time. I think probably 3 years.
I went to Guthrie in like 2010.
Yeah, I used to race in Guthrie too back in the day.
Yeah, I guess there wasn't a good enough turnout, so they never came back.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it comes down to. And it's like if they stay more out west, they get a better rider turnout. They get more people. You know, they can they'll sell out the Orleans Arena, which they did in Vegas when we were there. A couple
That's crazy.
Ago. So yeah, it's just that for whatever reason on the West Coast they can get better turnouts for a lot of the motorsports. I think they just need to do a little bit better promoting on the East Coast. Probably, I think the East Coast would have a lot of people come out to that kind of stuff if it's just a little bit better promotion for it. We'll see.
Right.
I don't know. Wide open, no conflict, says Mr. Bolton. So you better put it on your schedule. And we'd like to see you and the Baylor boys there together.
I'll talk to him, see if we can't go. It'd be pretty fun because I'm pretty sure I whooped Stewart last time we were out here on his own Endurocross track. They near lapped him, so
That's what I'm talking about.
Probably could put it to him at that.
Well, he doesn't have a navicular bone anymore, so he may weigh a lot less and be able to go faster.
Cheating.
I just get bones taken out. I can't lose weight, man. I just get bones taken out.
Hey, no, I've got one for you. I had brain surgery back in '07, and I had a chunk of my brain taken out. So I guess we're even.
Whoa. So not only for you to get faster, you didn't just like lose a little bit of weight. You just said get rid of the brain. I need to be a little less smart.
Yeah.
And I'll be able to go faster.
I had a brain tumor, and I had to get it taken out. It was like the size of, like, you ever seen those jumbo grapes you can buy at the Walmart?
Yep.
They're like, not the size of a golf ball, but they're pretty big grape. But like, I had one of those on my cerebellum, which is like your balance part of your brain, and I had to get it removed. Found it. I had a bicycle crash, wasn't wearing a helmet, and slammed my face, and found a brain tumor. So that put me down for like 4 months.
Wear your helmets, kids. Wear your helmets.
Try it.
Yeah. Okay, so tell us a little bit about the Ozark 100, the 100-miler race. We want to know more about this event and how badass you are at it.
It's a long day. It's a really long day. It starts at like 9 o'clock in the morning, and the first race is 40 miles long. You do 2 laps, 20-mile course, and the second race is 2 laps on the same 20-mile course, and then the night loop is 20 miles, but it's on a shorter course where they throw in different elements and stuff.
Right.
And it's really cool. Like, they light them up with a bunch of lights, and there's tons of people, and it's not impossible to go up them, but it's pretty difficult. Like, we usually throw on Tross tires and stuff to get up it. And well, this year I won the first moto by 3 or 4 minutes over Kole Henslee. And the second moto, I kind of had a stator problem like Matt Crouch had, going across field and stuff wide open. It'd start cutting out. And then my float stuck also. So I came up on my last lap into the pits right out of the woods. And it was probably a quarter mile to the finish. And I think Caleb was in the lead. And I had to push my bike in. So I ended up second at that moto. And then the night loop, I had a 3-minute lead on the first lap, and I was going down a hill, and the thing started cutting out really bad, and it just shut off, would not start, left me staring out in the dark. So I had to walk out. So I was 93 miles into the thing, and had to walk out. It sucked. I was so mad because I won it last year, and heck, I made $1,100. I needed that money because I was planning on coming out to Stewards, and
right.
I really needed that stuff. So I'm kind of bummed out about it this year, but hopefully we can do it again next year. It's a good time. It's just a really long day, and you got to really have your crap together. So. Yeah.
Well, I know Cole Kirkpatrick used to head up there a lot and do that event, and he's always done really good at it. You've done really good at that event. Did you ever get a chance to do Last Man Standing when it was still around here in North Texas?
No, I think I was in like the C class or B class whenever the last year they had it. I really wanted to, like the next year, if they would have had it one more year, I would have tried and qualified. But like I think I went to 1 or 2 events, and I was like, this is really cool. Like I've even went down there and done most of the obstacles back in like 2010. I think I went riding with Steve Levan and Cole, and who's the promoter? His name's Josh.
Oh yeah, the guy, he works for Red Bull now.
Yeah. Anyway, I was with him, Cole, and Steve, and we, he showed us the obstacles, and we played around on them, and made it up them. It'd be really cool to do if they'd have something else like that again. Everything else like that's like overseas and costs like $20,000 to get over there.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because that event really was cool, and Red Bull was really willing to put in a lot of money and give a lot of money for the club to put on the event. It's just the problem was that they couldn't ever get anybody out there. And it was far. Boulder is nowhere near close to anything in reality. The closest big city is Gainesville, and that's still, an hour and a half north, hour and a half north of Dallas, which is your biggest city. I don't know. That'd be cool. Well, dude, I think it's going to be interesting to see how things go for you. 2 weeks, you're going to be at the first National Enduro?
Yep.
All right. So
you're in South Carolina. So
are you going to be
right here?
Is it the Cherokee this weekend?
Yeah.
Are you going to be out there?
No, I don't know what the plan is. Like, I just got here and I haven't really talked to anybody. So here's my what's supposed to be a race bike, and it's clearly ain't got a pipe on it. Electric start's still on it. I've got a lot of work to do.
Oh, leave the electric start on it. What the hell?
Dude, it weighs like 15 pounds.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I think the Clockwork tank, Kevin at Clockwork, I think he made it where the tank's with the electric start, but I always take them off. They're annoying. I don't use them, so.
Whatever, dude. That's a lifesaver for like slow-ass idiots like me that make mistakes on the side of hills and don't want to kick your bike. Are you crazy?
Well,
Dude.
why are you stalling your bike on a hill? You're supposed to be gassing when you're going uphill.
Yeah, well, you haven't seen me ride. You know why I fall? Because I suck. That's why. Woo! Well, dude, good luck. Have fun with it. You got any last words of wisdom for us before we end it all and let you get back to putting your bike together?
I don't. I'm just excited to do what I'm doing. Hopefully, I can make it the whole season. I don't know. It's just gonna depend on how much money I got. I gotta eat bologna, I guess, every day. So.
Well,
try to save as much money as I can.
What's the way that we can, besides going to the Seat Time Facebook page or to the chat room where I put the link in both places, where else can people find a way to get to the funding link that you have going on?
I mean, just Facebook. Tons of people have Facebook. Just message me on there. We can figure something out. I can give you guys my phone number or whatever. Like, I don't care to talk to people. And I'm on Twitter, Instagram, GoFundMe. I have a PayPal account. I mean, everything. So, and actually, like, I have no idea how to run a PayPal account. Just one of these guys on the GoFundMe, like, hey, you should do a PayPal account,
Right.
Set something up like that. I was like, okay, I'll do it. He's like, I'll give you $100, whatever, if you do a PayPal account. I was like, okay. I have no idea how to use it, so.
Well,
just like the Skype deal, I don't know how to use Skype either. I mean, I'm not really ever messing around on my phone.
Well, that's okay. That's half the reason why we like doing Seat Time the way we do it, because it pushes a lot of the dirt bike community to get out of the dark ages and welcome technology into their life. Because now we don't just have to talk on the phone; we can look at each other eye to eye.
I know, it's
and
so
have
cool.
Much more in-depth conversations and really feel the emotion.
Right. So yeah, I've got the GoFundMe.com and I've got a PayPal, and you can also get a hold of me on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter.
Dig it. Well, cool, dude. Good luck. Have fun out there. Thank you for being on Seat Time. Glad that we got
thank you guys.
Got to break your virtual couch cherry, and hopefully, be it good results, bad results, or just an interesting time, hopefully we get to talk to you soon about how everything's going for you, right?
Yep, sounds good.
All right, dude. Well, have fun and tell the Baylors I said to suck it.
All right, I will.
Later, man.
All right, see you.
Peace. All right, so that was fun. I've never talked with Cole Hensley before, so honestly, I did not know what to expect. Really cool dude, seems down to earth. It's gonna be fun. Let's go ahead and hold off on calling in our next guest because we want to show that video. So, like we've mentioned before, big sponsor of the show is Fly Racing. If you guys can't afford to go out and say thank you to us and maybe support us a little bit by picking up a little bit of swag, that's okay. Everybody's got their own agendas and everybody's got their own stuff that they do. Their money's very important to them. I understand that. Definitely, what you can do, though, is go to flyracing.com and at least look through all the offerings that they have for you and how they're not just making better gear for you to ride in, but they're also making our sport better. I don't know if you've noticed that a lot of the off-road races that you go to nowadays, but Fly Racing is taking over, and they are supporting just about any series that they can get themselves into. And a lot of people are like, they're just trying to get people to wear their gear. That's not the main part of it. You have to understand that, sure, there's a business aspect to it, but as well, they want to make sure that our sport is supported and that the support's there for the promoters and for the racers and for the riders and for the families. And you definitely see Fly Racing doing a fantastic job doing that, supporting the sport that we love and doing all the stuff in the off-road world. So big thanks to them for supporting Seat Time, supporting the scene, and making awesome gear. One of the things that I wanted to talk about was the fact that we have this fantastic Pintful of Awesome award that we have given 3 guests 3 weeks in a row. Fantastic Fly Racing swag. Excuse me. And I say we. Fly Racing has given them free gear and free prizes for tagging Pintful of Awesome for all of their posts that they have done. We've checked Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, a lot of the other social networks out there for that hashtag, and we find good stuff. Well, we had some dudes, Chuck, he actually put a video together of them riding on a frozen pond, and he even titled it that they were out enjoying a pintful of awesome. And see, he sent me the YouTube link, so we're going to show that to you guys right now. and I'm not going to sing for you the mud vein that's in the background, but it's pretty interesting. What I thought was cool, so they took a four-wheeler and they plowed around this pond wherever they live. I don't really remember. And but so they start kind of going around it, and then they're like, oh, hey, wait a minute. We're on dirt bikes. Let's race. And this is where it gets really funky, and I don't really know how good I would be at this. I would definitely attempt it, but at the same time, you can tell that just the angle that they're getting, that these dudes are totally just all over the place. I would imagine they have studs in their tires. I think they said in the video description that they do have studs in their tires. And if you look really close on his front number plate, it looks like it's a National Enduro number. So obviously these are guys that are close to us and close to our hearts in the sense that they're out there doing all the same events and same races that we're doing. So super cool of these guys to be out there doing this stuff. I just thought this was really neat, and they do have some good crashes as well. As you can imagine, you can't really ride on ice on a dirt bike without having really good crashes. I want to say that's a Husaberg. I see the blue fender, but it looks like it has the KTM, the older KTM front end on that fender. So I want to say that that's kind of a Husaberg. Obviously now Husky, but you know, it happens. We could, just going down, you know me. Love it. I would be such a spode on something like this, Steven. This would be so much fun to be able to get the chance to do this. But the problem is that my hands would be so cold. What do you think, Steven? How would you do in this situation?
Oh, I'd fall off a bike in dirt, so.
Oh,
I'm not two-wheel.
See if you
friendly.
can skip ahead a little bit, go a couple bits at a time. There's a bit where the dude, and then when you find it, turn the sound up. Go a little bit. He's on okay, go a little bit more. A little bit more. He's on a four-wheeler, and he's doing donuts, and he gets it up. Okay, back. Like 430, I think. Yeah, right there. And turn the sound up.
Oh, shit. Wrong mouse.
This dude gets up to like 50 miles an hour. Got this speedometer on this thing. With a snowplow on. No. Yeah, they're like, you need to stop.
Yeah, and they're on a frozen pond.
The whole time I'm thinking, oh my gosh, these guys are gonna kill themselves by going in this frozen water. Well, cool. Well, guys, we really, really appreciate you submitting that YouTube video. It's definitely, you guys are the winner for this week. We've got a couple different things that I was going to talk to Dale about to send you guys. Obviously, I think because of the fact that you guys were in the wintry conditions, that we should definitely find some form of snow-powered or snow or winter-esque bit to send you guys. We will definitely be reaching out to get some information from you to send that over to you. One of the big things, though, that I wanted to definitely get across to everybody is that this award doesn't just happen because we got 2 submissions. And that's not what we got this week, but we did notice a dramatic drop in the amount of people that did tag their post. And that's okay. If you guys don't do it, then we don't give out more awards. That's just the way it works, just because we don't want to take advantage of all the awesomeness that Fly Racing is doing for this. So definitely, if you weekly tag your submissions with Pintful of Awesome, tell your friends, tag your friends, make sure that they're doing the same thing. Because unfortunately, I will have to say, if we don't see a dramatic uprise in the number of submissions, we're probably going to have to call it a good run for a couple weeks. And we'll move on to some other fun later on. So big thanks to Fly Racing. One of the bits that I wanted to tell you to go check out, though, on their website is the new Action jersey. What I like about this, and I wear this jersey, and I call it a jersey. It's more of like a really nice, light T-shirt. But I wear it for when I go work out, or maybe when I go for quick mountain bike rides and stuff like that. They call it their activewear shirt. But what's crazy is it's constructed from cafe fabric. It's infused with recycled coffee beans. And I put up a big WTF right there but they've found out that whoever makes this type of fabric with these coffee beans has fast drying, odor control, and UV protectant all built in to this fabric that they use for these jerseys. So it's crazy. So go to their website, check it out, and they do talk about this this cafe fabric that they have. It's quite interesting. But again, Steven just had a great picture up there. These jerseys are sexy. A lot of the graphics that Fly's putting out these days look so good. So not only do you get to have this great breathable jersey, this t-shirt jersey that keeps you cool while you're doing stuff outdoors, but you get to look fly as well. See what I did there? See what I did there? Wicked awesome. All right, so I was going to go ahead and see if we could get our next guest up to chat for a little bit, just to see what kind of random things are going on. I don't know that we've talked too much about who is going to possibly be coming on the show, but we'll see if we can get somebody to answer and come on. Are you there?
Yeah.
Where? Oh, the video.
Yeah.
Bring it down just a little.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I couldn't see it.
That's okay. We can.
Yeah,
And
there we go.
We knew it was poor. All right. So as everybody knows, this is our good friend Jared Bolton, our very own redheaded stepchild. That it's just when you're kind of like, man, I want to do something fun that we just haven't done in a while. We just go random. Let's talk to Bolton. Let's see what's going on in the life and the ramblings of that little man, and enjoy the good times. So, dude, what has been going on, and what randomness are you getting involved in?
There's all sorts of stuff going on. Today, specifically, not a whole lot. I went into the office at PG, and I started working, and I did not stop working until like 30 minutes after I usually leave. So, yeah, to say it's kind of busy right now is an understatement. So, yeah, that's pretty good. We got Atlanta Supercross coming up this weekend. I'm going to go spectate a little bit. Cherokee Enduro the following day, which I think I'm probably going to skip out on. Might, have fun at the Supercross instead, which I hate to say I'm skipping out on Cherokee because that is actually a fantastic race. So, but I got to ride Sweep at Sumter a few weeks ago, so that's a plus.
Yeah. I want to know, what was your take on? Better yet, did you watch Dallas Supercross?
I actually did not, because I do not have cable here, and I have to find a good link to watch it with usually. So, yeah.
Well, they do have there's a Monster Moto channel out of Australia that has rights to upload them to their YouTube channel, so you can find out. If you don't have that link, I'll send you the subscription. I mean, it's not illegal. It's just since Monster Energy has part of the rights, they can't upload them in the States, but they upload them to their Australian YouTube channel. So you can get them all there in HD, which is nice. What I was going to say, though, is I was very disappointed in the Dallas Supercross track, and for some reason I'm always disappointed in the Dallas Supercross track, unfortunately. They just seem like they have so much space to work with, but unfortunately they never seem to take advantage of it very well, which kind of disappoints me. I'd really like to see a little bit more creativity. They have this twice the length of a football field type area that they can do all this stuff, do all this stuff with, and they just make this boring race. Now, we did see some interesting racing going on in the mains, and we saw a couple people washing out, Martin Davalos having some issues and stuff like that, but it was, I don't know. I just wish that they would make better racetracks there in Dallas, because that's my home race. I want to see badass racing. I was glad to see the East Coast guys. It's really cool that the East Coast racers did so freaking well on the 250, the pro circuit guys. Are you there, Bolton?
Yeah.
We're not getting your video. I don't know if you care or not.
Yeah. I don't know what happened. It dropped you, and there was nothing for, I don't know, a while. Oh,
we got a question in the chat room, though, specifically to us about you and Ride PG. How long will it take to get some number plates to Texas from Ride PG?
Texas is 2 or 3 days.
Or you can do same-day shipping.
Yeah, you can do that if you want to pay for it.
But they can use, obviously, the seat time discount code, which will save them up to 10%, which will save them 10%, so at least they get some taxes back on it. And then, of course, because of the fact that if Mark Weeks is his name, if he gets in touch with Bolton, and says that he was the one getting in touch with him on the show, I'm sure that there's a couple other discount codes that he could put into the system.
Yeah, we could work with you a little bit.
That's what I'm talking about. But we'll so Mark, definitely reach out to Bolton, or at least Ride PG. Tell him you were talking to us on the show, and make sure we can make some things happen and get that stuff going. So Atlanta Supercross, you're gonna have a good time. You might enjoy a couple pintfuls of awesome of your own accord. What else? What else? What about Chester? How's Chester?
Oh, that's good. He's hanging out in the garage where a dirty cock should be.
Gotta keep your dirty cock away from everybody in the public arena because
exactly
it could get weird.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, somebody was asking about some suspension work from Ride PG. See, that would be through the Power Sport. What is it? The Power Sport.
It'd be Ride PG Power Sports, which actually that side, it's also just Ride PG suspension. So,
okay.
That's formerly WP Racing USA. Just a name change is all. Still, everything's the same. So we kind of know what we're doing a little bit.
Right. Yeah, I can imagine. So in that sense, like with the WP factory moving to California, is that connection then no longer there anymore?
No, I mean, it's still, like I said, all it is for us is just a name change, really.
Okay, and then what about the new bit with Factory Connection being the suspension gurus, if you will, for the KTM off-road team? Wasn't it Brett Hayes at Ride PG for so long?
No. We've actually, on the suspension side, we've never done the Factory KTM team.
Okay.
Yeah, so, but well, when it was Husky, or when it was Husaberg, we did them, but now we are doing the Husky team as well for both graphics and suspension.
Which is awesome. Awesome.
It is pretty awesome.
Oh, yeah. So it's a good question to ask our buddy Zach Huberty from Innovation Off-Road. Why do you think they went with Factory Connection for the FMF off-road team? Why do you think the switch, maybe?
What? Honestly, I have no clue.
Me too.
It could just be the fact that Factory Connection, they have a lot to offer, so why not? Give them a shot, see how it works.
I wonder. It seems interesting because we saw a video. I think it was Vital MX maybe that went to the WP factory that they just opened. Next to the KTM factory, where they're spouting the fact that they're gonna be doing all the WP suspension in-house now, and you're like, oh cool, that's got to be great for all the factory racers. And then the next thing we hear is that the factory KTM team for off-road won't be using WP anymore. It was like, oh, that's strange. I thought they just put all this money into WP. Why would they go with somebody else?
Yeah, it's interesting, but they're the factory KTM team. They can do what they want. Yeah. That's the way I look at it.
They're professionals. Obviously they should know what they're doing at least, but they were Factory Connection before.
That's the way I always look at it. They wouldn't make a bad decision. Any decision they make is going to be because they think it's the right thing to do. So
they're the right decision for them at the time, until they realize it was the wrong decision at the time.
Right. But it's not like some people do, where they just say, "Oh, here's this, we'll do that."
I like it. If you want to look left, make sure you turn right.
Exactly.
So
I like to be as vague as possible.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so what other kinds of fun things on the East Coast are you looking forward to? You got GNCC, we got Enduros, we got Atlanta Supercross and Atlanta Enduro Cross. When we were chatting earlier, you even mentioned something about an ISDE. I was like, what? What is this? I don't know. Chatterness. So, like, what?
Yeah, it's...
keep talking.
Well, it's nothing but talk at the moment, but there is... it seems to come up every now and then, but I'm fairly serious about it. If I can connect all the right people together, all of the best I can, and do everything I can, there's other people that would like to do the same thing to bring the ISD to the United States again. So it could happen. It may not happen. You never really know. But realistically, I'd say it's not. It's not. It's definitely not impossible.
Okay. So with what you do know about being a race promoter, because you have put on quite a few races, you've also helped out with the GNCC for a very, very long time. You've made quite a few connections in multiple facets of the off-road world of racing. What would be your next steps, and how would you put together a chance to try to then promote an ISDE event in the States?
That's a good question, because when we first came up with the idea and realized the location where it was feasible, there were 3 of us that were like, now what?
Next.
So we reached out to a few different people. Like the one that's really been reached out to, the conversation I sat in on was with Jeff Russell. That's obviously GNCC trail boss, and he's Caleb's dad. He's also done his fair share of ISDEs, and he's been to many, many more. And he's expressed a lot of interest in putting one on before. So we kind of reached out to him to basically just ask what the next step would be and see if he would be interested in doing it. So that's kind of as far as it's gone at the moment. But realistically, past that, the next step would be to get together with Auntie, from the team manager of the KTM team, and use him as the go-to to the FIM, and actually making everything official to put in a bid on it. It's just, you got to figure out if it could even work here from a legal standpoint, really.
Well, what's the legal part of it that you're talking about?
I mean, obviously it's getting the town, the county, the state, you've got to get all of them involved to okay it, to use, obviously you've got to use roads, you've got to get together enough land for 6 days of racing, really. So
yeah, and not just turn 2 lefts and you're at the next test. Exactly. They're used to miles and miles of transition between tests.
Exactly. And I mean, like I said, we've got a location that we feel is suitable and that can handle it. It's just a matter of I guess just basically getting those that know what they're doing to do it, and getting the proper people behind it to make it happen. So
well, I guess the biggest thing as I could say is just any way that little tiny old C Time can help out, even if it's just on a media component. Later on, as things come together, we'd love to be involved. I would love to have another ISDE in the country. I think back when it was in Oklahoma, I was like 9 years old or something, so my dad and I didn't head up there, but it would have been cool. It would have been super cool. So yeah,
I was 3.
Yep, and you were still a redhead.
Yeah, I was 3, so I wasn't, I was racing the vet class then.
Yeah, you were preparing to suck at life. Oh. So we're going to have our kind of GNCC prep show in 2 weeks. It's going to be the Tuesday before, so it's going to be you and Jeremy Saylor, myself, of course. And we're going to try, I haven't confirmed with Jordan, but we're going to try to get Jordan back into the studio, not just for push-ups, but as well for being able to have her in for all of her knowledge, having raced the GNCCs in the women's class for so long. What are they? Didn't they change the name of the women's class this year? Is it XCW or something like that?
It is WXC1, I believe.
That's weird.
Yeah. I mean, basically, I think that decision kind of stems from people have been wanting to call it a women's pro class. But the thing about labeling it as a pro class is we kind of feel like that would possibly steer people. When you go to another series, they would steer you to ride in A class or the pro class. So basically, it's just trying to avoid any sort of a protest. Is really what that is.
Okay, that's interesting. I like it though. I like it.
Yep.
I like it. I have to use...
Actually, it is WXC is the official title.
Did you see that in the chat room?
No, I actually went on the website and looked it up.
Okay, because Zach had just put it in the chat room for us. I don't know how that guy's memory works so well, because mine doesn't, obviously. But damn.
Yeah, it was it started out as WXC1 and then was changed to WXC for the official posting there.
And we like to be official.
That's
here
why
on
I was
Seat
still
Time.
exactly.
Okay, so as a precursor to the precursor show, what's your number one biggest, most awesome rumor leading up to Florida about the 2014 GNCC series?
A rumor?
Rumor or fact that we maybe don't know about?
Well, there is a rider that was a very fast amateur rider last season that had some sort of a ride lined up, and basically that ride fell apart. And therefore now he will be contesting the XC2 class basically on his own again. And this particular rider, in my opinion, has a lot of potential. So hopefully he turns some heads and maybe get some real support, and hopefully has a little bit better luck with rides staying together. So we'll see.
Nice. It's not the Obermeyer Suzuki team, is it?
It is not.
Okay, good.
This is something that this ride fell apart. Basically, it's something that very, very few people even knew about. That was even a possibility.
Right.
Yep. So, and actually, before Chris Bach landed his Honda ride, he was actually put in to be part of this. So he kind of lucked out really good with the Honda ride, because otherwise he would have been back on his own dime regardless.
Well, is it kind of like the thing with the Jeff Ward deal when they had their Supercross team, and in reality they just didn't have the funding for it, and then it fell apart because of that?
Somewhat. This was basically they were going to get bikes, but the bikes were not going to be available in time, and the bikes that were available were just going to be sold.
That sounds strange, and definitely something
Yeah,
you don't
so-
want to put
so
a lot of faith
basically-
into.
Basically, you just have to think about what brand isn't completely available yet, and what is available needs to be sold.
Well, it'll be Betas or Shercos.
Or something that has not really hit dealer floors yet. That is white and blue and yellow.
Ah, okay. Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So that would have been.
Yeah.
I wonder if that was the were the Air Radiant guys planning on coming to GNCC?
No. This was basically it was going to be through a shop in a nutshell.
Okay, so it was going to be Huskies coming to a shop, or coming through through a shop.
Through a shop, and basically the shop's not going to get their bikes in time to pull a deal together, and what they are going to get, they don't have enough demos to go around.
Yeah.
So basically they're getting 0 demos. What they get, they're just going to have to sell.
I like it. Man.
That ends up being a real bummer for this particular rider. But like I said, he had great success on his own last year, so maybe he'll still do the same.
Yeah, and it's interesting too because what was like Nick Farringer, I think he just got his bike like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, and Air Radiant doing the National Enduros and some of the OMAs, they were, from what I understand, kind of going back and forth between Shercos and the Huskies, and they chose Husky. They're supposed to kind of have like the factory service Husky setup, like what you would see, some of the other, like the BTO Sports or Rockstar KTM teams, how they kind of have that factory services with KTM. This was supposed to be like a factory service, or is a factory service Husky team, but he didn't get his bike until like a week or two ago. It just seems crazy. And Andrew DeLong was waiting on his for a really long time. Argybright had his for a while on the West Coast. It seemed like Brownie probably had his too. But yeah, it's just kind of interesting that even the bikes coming over from Europe just took that long to get here.
Yeah, it's just it's kind of unfortunate how it's kind of played out, but I mean sometimes that happens, and that obviously that can happen with no matter how big a company is, no matter how strong a company is, it can happen. So
Yep,
it's just that's part of how the world works.
I agree. Well, I'm probably gonna get a husky.
You should.
Yeah, since
They're pretty sweet.
Since we're just making decisions, that we don't have to keep.
Right. I mean, they are having the chance to have ridden one. It's pretty sweet.
Was it blue at the time? Was it a
No.
no.
Well, if that's the case, I've ridden all of them.
Right? Yeah, definitely. You rode one
Yeah.
when it was orange and one when it was blue, and one that was
Yeah,
probably a
exactly.
combination of both.
Yep.
Well,
I rode a blue one with orange plastic on it.
it happens to the best of us. Well, okay. I was going to talk about one other thing, and I go to look at my notes, and could they just ride a KTM with white and blue plastic for the time being? It's funny that you say that because that is exactly what Russell Bobbitt did at the Little Brown. Was it the Little Brown Jug, or was it
At the Burnt Gin Hair Scramble.
Burnt Gin Hair Scramble? Yeah, he had a KTM.
Yes, he
he
did.
had a KTM with
And it-
Husky graphics on it. They had sent him white
Yeah.
plastic, but he didn't put the white plastic
He didn't
on.
even. He didn't even use the white plastic. I think to me that's just awesome. Like that's just true NFG, really.
Yeah, for sure. I asked him. I was like, "Hey, can you want to come on the show tonight and talk to us about the new Huskies and being on a 350 this year?" And he literally replied back, "Nope." And I was like, I just said back, "Thanks for being honest."
That guy's pretty awesome.
He is. He's a cool dude. But yeah, he's
I
definitely
don't-
an NFGer
you know-
for sure.
Oh yeah, he's one of the few that I don't know like really well, but the bit that I know him, I'm a fan. I'm
Yeah.
a fan just because he's just like whatever.
Yep, this is very true. I like hearing the stories from Cole and Farringer and stuff after they go have themselves a little romp somewhere, traveling around doing something, because it's always interesting hearing what those little boys get into.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Gina's always got some good stories.
Yeah. All right. Well, tell us what else is going on, and we'll wrap it up here, my friend. Close us out.
Man,
Come on,
it's,
give us some goods.
Man, it's pretty quiet, really. I've been jonesing for some info, like
Well, can we make up a
Yawning.
rumor?
yawning, going insane. I can make up a rumor. I don't know. I don't know. We're gonna start selling meth, I guess. I don't know.
Well, now that we know so much about it.
Apparently, I heard a rumor. I heard a rumor that Seat Time's gonna start offering meth online via their big cartel store.
Ooh, it's funny that you say that, because there's a city in Vancouver that actually they have vending machines, and in these vending machines for 25 cents you can actually buy meth pipes. Yep, and I
Awesome.
mean legitimately buy a glass pipe to smoke meth with. And the reasoning behind this is because they've noticed so many more people becoming infected with different STDs and HIV because of the fact that they're using these broken, busted meth pipes. And so they're like, you know what? Okay, we can't stop people from doing meth. We're not going to sell them meth, but we're going to at least give them the option to try to get better tools to do this, so they don't have to, transfer all these STDs and HIV and stuff like that between each other. So, I mean, Seat Time selling meth after, maybe isn't that far away in the future if all this shit's going on in Vancouver, man.
Yeah, you gotta offer up all the different kinds. You gotta offer up the blue stuff. You gotta offer up your standard. Do your shake and bake. That's about all I know about it.
Yeah, what we know from Walter White and Breaking
And other
Bad.
documentaries I've seen.
Yeah, and living in the
That's shake and bake.
southeast.
Hey, East Tennessee is like an hour and a half from my house. No. You can be in Tennessee in like an hour. They make lots of shake and bake meth in Tennessee.
Oh, I don't even want to ask what shake and bake meth is compared to.
Basically,
Oh, here we go. Get it.
In a nutshell, they make it in a Gatorade bottle.
Oh my god!
Which I don't. Yeah, you can make it going down the road. Basically, you just pour all these whatever they put in it. They pour it in a bottle and they shake it up, and it makes meth.
Huh.
I saw it on some documentary like 2 years ago.
It crystallizes and turns into actually like whoa,
in the Gatorade bottle.
What is this? We got
It's
one
incredible.
pot synthesis. Oh, we must have Ryan Kudla on because he's the scientist. He's the one working on his doctorate. He's in the chat room talking about the different types of synthesis and stuff about meth. I was like, we must have we might not have the rock and roll Kudla right now. We might have the scientist Kudla. It has been quite an interesting dynamic the show that we've gone into with the whole meth side of things. But hey,
yeah.
Sometimes it's a Tuesday night in Texas, and you just go with what you're given. And when we're given mess, we just say yes. Shake and bake. And I helped.
Shake and bake. You got your title.
You know, it's funny, though. You mentioned Gatorade bottle, and we were just talking about Mike Craig to another person on Seat Time. But so they've been reminiscing about all the old motocross days a lot on Pulp MX, 90s motocross. And so they talk about Mike Craig, and apparently his nickname is Gatorade, because somebody saw his Johnson, and it's supposedly as wide around as a Gatorade bottle.
That's great.
Yeah.
There's so many stories like that come to mind that I'm just paranoid about now. Kind of scary.
You're like, oh, I hope those stories about me being called Vienna sausage don't come out.
Yeah. Actually, they just call me Big Pen Cap.
That's so wrong. Why would you call yourself out like that, my man?
Because it's funny.
Because why not? So have you ridden a dirt bike at all in this year?
Like 2 weeks ago.
Is that the only time you've ridden in 2014?
No, like 2 weeks before that. I don't know. I've probably ridden 4 or 5 times this year. Not bad. Maybe only probably like 4.
Well, we're about to have baby number 3. That's actually a pretty good preface for everybody. We will be having baby number 3 quite soon. The due date is March 2nd. So probably, if that's, I would imagine, unless it happens like on a Wednesday or Thursday, that it'll probably be very close to a Tuesday, and that we would wind up canceling, that episode. We're going to definitely we're going to do the GNCC one. So if it does turn out that it's on that Tuesday and we can't do that one in 2 weeks, then we're going to go ahead and move that so that we still do it before everybody leaves and gets out of town to go for the GNCC. So we'll just have to plan ahead for that. But think about titles for this show. So somebody thought that we should title this episode Meth 101. And I kind of think that it should almost be like a meth, it's what's for dinner, or like a, maybe like a shake and bake meth. It's shake and bake. It's not just meth. Like, we need to come up with something good like that. So definitely, what I think everybody should do, don't just hit the chat room. Send us tweets. So at @CTime_CEO and give us your good title ideas for the show. And obviously, if it's based around meth, that's fun too. Might have some fun prizes for you if you're the one that we pick. So I definitely think that it would be very beneficial for you guys to send in those titles. Okay, Jared Bolton, we are going to cut over to you, not just yet, but when we cut over to you, we're going to use this segment as a Seat Time teaser, if you will. So you're going to be like, you can come up with any kind of slogan or whatever little thing you want to say, but we're going to cut to you, and you're going to be like, Seat Time, watch it on the internet, whatever. Okay, are you in?
Oh yeah, I'm good with that.
All right, Steven, let's switch over. All right, 3, 2.
Hi, I'm Bolton doing an impersonation of King of the Hill. This is Hank Hill, Assistant Manager, Strickland Propane. You're watching Seat Time, and this is awesome, and you're not.
Yay! So fantastic. Well, thank you, Bolton, for being on the show. It's always fun. I definitely look forward to 2 weeks from now when we get to go through about a year's worth of notes that I have on all the GNCC racing that happened last year, and then all the crazy change-ups that we've had this year, and what's going on with everybody. I think it'll be a lot of fun, and it'll be interesting for sure.
Yeah, I believe so. Hey,
Yo,
Hank Hill's from Texas.
hell yeah!
Why don't you talk like this?
Damn it, Bobby!
That'd be cool.
I can't do that voice without laughing. It would be cool. All right, well, apparently,
Yeah.
since Chester's not coming out, no dirty dicks on the show tonight. Or dirty cocks.
Yeah. Saving
We don't want any of those on the show tonight.
kind of messed that one up.
Hey, I don't know if I messed it up as much as I just made it more awesomer.
Or that, yeah.
We just
True.
went with it. Just went with it. Put it wherever
Hey, I'm
you
such
know
a child.
Yeah?
Look what I got for snacks.
Scooby snacks?
Isn't that cute?
You know what's really
Teddy Grahams.
You know what's really good with Teddy Grahams? Take them and put them in a like a smallish plastic cup, and put meth in the cup. No. And,
Okay, yeah.
you like put milk in there and you just eat it like cereal. Yeah. So good, so good.
Yeah. These are pretty good.
We're pretty much professionals, you know that, right?
They were 2 for $5, so.
I think it's a good buy. Well, all right, Bolton, you get the hell out of here, and I'm gonna go to sleep and post this in the morning.
Yeah, that's cool. Do that. I would.
Yep, I'm gonna go put pants on because I don't have any on right now.
Yeah, me either. Why do you think you only see me from here up?
Because you're saving the best for last.
Sorry, I have pants on.
Ah, that's okay. I still don't. Woo!
But I got an awesome shirt
I
on.
do like that shirt.
Yeah.
Does that say "fuck you"?
Yes, it does.
That's even better.
Yes,
now.
it does.
Yeah, it does.
Yep.
Nice. Well, Bolton, thank you again for being on the show. Before we close it up and on out of here, where can people find you?
You can find Hank Hill. No, wait a minute. You can find me on Instagram at Jared Bolton, which is currently my only preferred form of social media. You can also find me on Twitter, which I kind of dislike. And you can also find me on Facebook, which I really dislike. But, you know, if you want to be friends on any of those, I don't care. I'll accept you. I accept everybody.
Yeah.
If you ride a motorcycle, a quad, UTV, whatever, I like you. You're all right.
We'll put up with you.
You're better than normal society.
Yes, I like it.
Hey, right as I'm saying that, I got a Facebook friend request.
You know how it works, man. Seat time makes everybody famous.
So, Chris Bridge, friends with Kylie Ahart, I'm accepting your friend request.
On Seat Time live.
Live.
Man, that sucks. I didn't get a single friend
Fantastic.
request. Whores. Nobody likes me. It's whatever.
Darn.
Oh well, I'll get over it. All right, Bolton, you
Yep,
get out of
right.
here. We're gonna finish up this here show. Thanks for being on, dude.
Yeah, anytime.
Later, man. All right. So of course. Oh wait. Hey, wait. Tell us about all the Ride PG offers going on. Didn't you say you had some offers?
Oh, yes,
So,
we do.
Yeah, so for those
right
who
now-
don't know, one of our other fantastic sponsors and supporters of the show is Powersport Graphics, specifically ridepg.com is the website. And Bolton has some fantastic offers to offer everybody.
Yeah, since it's the beginning of the race season, everybody likes to have the banner or whatever series that they're racing. We've got quite a few already made, ready to go. Usually that's a $9.95 upcharge, but if you order pre-printed backgrounds and use the coupon code FREE banner, you get that banner for free, obviously.
Obviously.
So-
Free banner.
GNCC, National Enduro, OMA, J-Day, MAXC. Those are all the ones I know off the top of my head that we've got for sure.
Nice. And if you want a Seat Time logo on there,
So
how much does it cost for a Seat Time logo?
we'll make sure you get a Seat Time logo for free.
That's what I'm talking about, because it couldn't cost shit because I gave you that logo for free. So
Exactly.
Don't be charging nobody. It's ready to go.
Exactly.
Ready to go.
It's actually a $2 upcharge every time, and it goes in my pocket.
Bitches.
I'm just kidding.
I could buy a lot of meth with that.
You really could.
Jerks. All right. Thank you for sharing all the fun stuff that's going on with Ride PG and you and your life at working there. We really appreciate it. And, of course, we really appreciate their support of Seat Time, and we look forward to getting new Seat Time graphics for the 300 quite
Holy
soon.
Snapchat.
Did you get...
Holy Snapchat, Justin Sode.
Did you get a picture of his junk?
Is
it his Gatorade
no,
bottle?
it's pictures. No, it's pictures of my face online.
Did he
I look like a woman.
Did he Snapchat you on the internet?
Like 10 times.
It's totally worth, but it's not worth it because it's Snapchat. It's now deleted from the internet forever. What's the point of that?
Yeah.
That's what's so fantastic about the internet.
Caleb Russell Snapchatted me 20 minutes ago.
And is it a picture of his wife?
No, it's a picture of his dog.
It's not worth it.
It's a picture of his dog eating food on the table in their motorhome.
Fantastic. That's why I have Snapchat, or why I don't have Snapchat, because I can see pictures of dogs on the regular internet. I don't need to have Snapchat for that. And I'm not about to go to like Bone Daddies or Hooters and start trying to get their usernames and try to like talk them into sending me nude photos, because that's on the internet as well. I don't need to do that if that's what I'm in the mood for. What the hell? I don't get it, but whatever. That's okay. Are you flipping me off?
No, I was holding my phone.
Hey, FAQ you, dude.
Yeah.
All right, Bolton, get out of here. And we'll talk to you
right.
in 2 weeks at a minimum.
Yes, I'll be around.
Love you. Thanks again, dude. We appreciate it.
Okay. Okay, bye. See you guys later.
Bye.
Cuties.
Peace. All right. So Bolton, always a great guy to have on. Again, in 2 weeks, we will be doing our pre-GNCC show with Bolton. We have Jeremy Saylor and Jordan Milbauer. Bailey, hopefully in studio with myself. And we're probably going to use a Google Hangout for that, so if anybody thinks they might want to have something good to say about that event, definitely start contacting us now. We're going to start connecting a lot of those Google Plus accounts so that we can send invites during the show to people to invite them into the Hangout so that we can talk with them and see what they have to say about the 2014 GNCC series coming up. It's going to be a good time. So thank you very much for watching Seat Time. We got a chance to talk with Kole Henslee and Jared Bolton. It sounds like Kole Hensley's got a lot going on his plate. It's really cool to hear that the GoFunding worked for him. I think that's really neat that he was able to use kind of that crowdfunding to be able to make a little bit of money so that he could go race and not have to work as hard. He knows that if he's working all the time and not working out, not training, it's not going to be worth it. And so it's cool to see that using technology to help fund a chance at having a racing career. And I really congratulate him on making that work. It's pretty cool. Bolton, as always, is a fun guy to have on. We could talk about random stuff all night. So that's why I kind of have to kick him off, because if I don't, we will wind up talking about random stuff all night. And then it turns into a really long show about, unfortunately, absolutely nothing, which that's not why we're here. So yes, you're right. Who doesn't love Lamp? Everybody doesn't love Lamp. So, Seat Time. This is the online show for the off-road enthusiasts. We really appreciate everybody paying attention. Thank you for your Pintful of Awesome award submissions. Remember to keep them coming. Unfortunately, we're just going to go ahead and call it quits and figure out other ways for you guys to have fun on the internet and be crazy for us. So you can find us. SeatTime.co is the website where everything is archived. Of course, we are on Facebook, facebook.com/SeatTime. You can find us on Twitter. We are SeatTime_CO is the username. And we're on Instagram. It's just regular old SeatTime. If you happen to be on Stitcher, or if you listen to podcasts on iTunes, remember you can search for Seat Time, 2 words, and you can subscribe to us there and just download the audio. I find I listen to a lot of podcasts when I drive to and from work, and then when I get a chance to focus a little bit less on work, when I'm doing more monotonous type things, I can put more podcasts on as well then and listen to more. So that's a definite way that you could catch up for some of the stuff you might have missed. Thank you to those in the chat room and for the ones that have been paying attention to us live this Tuesday evening in Texas. Remember to always enjoy a pint full of awesome and keep coming back. We really appreciate you guys being fans of Seat Time. It's been great fun for us. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Peace.